And now, World on Fire, with host King Zor, bringing you the latest Doom coverage.
Good evening, everyone. This is World on Fire. I am host King Zor Sr.
And I am King Zor Jr.
And we have a lot to get into tonight. We are awaiting a response from Iran as well as Hezbollah. Camel Toe has picked her VP nomination. Lots to get into in this video. With all of that, we're going to turn it straight over to King Zor Jr. What is going on in the Middle East? Why hasn't Iran retaliated yet? What is Hezbollah doing? What's Israel doing? What's going on, Junior?
There has been quite a few developments over the weekend. The U.S. is still moving troops and equipment into the Middle East. There are reports now that Russia is supplying Iran with weapons. And also Iran is reportedly doing military exercises. They actually blew themselves up in their own sand bandit holes yesterday. And there was a big explosion in Istanbul, in Iran, due to them moving their missiles around in their underground rat tunnels, and something malfunctioned and something exploded. That is the latest news that we have on that explosion. Iran right now, the Israeli economy is hurting because all civilian life has basically stopped at this point in Israel. A lot of civilians have been relocated from the north and moved to South Israel. So what Iran is doing right now, it's actually working. They haven't even sent a single missile to Israel, and they are already affecting them. They are affecting them economy and monetary wise as of right now. But like I said, we do have quite a couple of stories to catch you all up on of what transpired over the last weekend and the latest breaking news that we have for you today. So let's jump right into those stories. So, all right, the first story that we have for you today, Channel 12 News. Channel 12 News in Israel is reporting that advanced preparations and plannings are underway within the Israeli military for the launch of a preemptive strike against Hezbollah targets across Lebanon prior to their coordinated attack against Israel and Iran. So here's a report of Israel possibly going for a preemptive strike against Hezbollah. But at the same time, I've also seen Israel preparing for the possible preemptive strike of Iran, to strike Iran before Iran strikes Israel. Now, the longer that Iran waits for their retaliatory strikes against Israel, the more of a possibility this could be of Israel coming up with plans and preempting Iran. So, here is another story for you. Channel 12 Israel. The army is in advanced preparations for a possible preemptive strike against Hezbollah targets. This has not happened yet, but this is the very latest news that we have. These two stories are from today. We could see this come as soon as tomorrow, of Israel preemptively striking Hezbollah targets inside of southern Lebanon. Another story, Iran's Revolutionary Guard deploys more air defenses around Iranian nuclear facilities in anticipation for an Israeli attack. Israel has said that, they've been coming up with these plans that when Iran launches on Israel, there have been reports of Israel saying that they will launch an attack against Iran at the same time, either at the same time or very shortly after they are attacked from Iran. So, USA is asking Iran not to escalate through Arab countries in the area. Iran has replied, "We already made our decision." The U.S. has been begging on their knees, and they're getting tips from Camel Toe here, to ask Iran not to attack Israel, or at least not go as far as what the U.S. and Israel is thinking that Iran is going to go. All of these talks are failing. Iran is saying you all can go fuck yourselves, and we are going to do what we want to at this point. So all the back channel talk between these two countries are failing. Okay, so the Iranian Aviation Organization issued a NOTAM on Tuesday to warn pilots and aviation authorities about a risk of gun firing activities in western Iran on August 7th and 8th, setting the danger zone up to an altitude of 12,000 feet. So NOTAM has been officially declared in Iran. This is not the first NOTAM that we have seen since Israel killed Hania inside of Iran. There was another NOTAM that they declared. Not much came from that, but this NOTAM, this newly issued NOTAM, is for a longer duration, between 2 different days. I'll show you. Here's the NOTAM issued in Iran. Appears to be an exercise related, but we've seen exercises used historically to veil actual real world operations. We'll see what's up. So here is the actual NOTAM that Iran has declared. For all of you sky watchers, here is that NOTAM. Now, to the details of this NOTAM. Alert. Iran has issued a NOTAM, notice to airmen. Details. Military exercises are scheduled for August 7th and 8th with the possibility of long-range air-to-air missile tests. The military exercise is scheduled to take place between 11:30 a.m. and 2:30 p.m. local time on Wednesday, and between 4:30 a.m. and 7:30 on Thursday. So there has been reports of also this NOTAM being in reference to possible ballistic missile tests inside of Iran. Will this actually be a military exercise by Iran, or is this Iran trying to conceal the exact time of their attack? Only time will tell as of this time, but during the April 13th attacks, they declared a NOTAM first and then they attacked. That is in their playbook. So the only thing that we could do about this is just to wait and see if they finally decide to get off of their camels and attack Israel. Okay,
Junior, just real quick, Junior. In the April 13th attack, the airspace in Iran was cleared right before that attack. So this is the same setup that we're seeing right before the April 13th attack.
Yep, and I've been saying for a week now that these NOTAMs will be the first indication that these attacks might be imminent, and now these NOTAMs are starting to be issued. Now, Hezbollah has had an uptick in their attacks against Israel within the last 24 hours. Here's one of those videos of Hezbollah launching drones inside of northern Israel, and they did attack a military base. And this was quite a significant attack of drones. All right, so U.S. observes Iran moving missile launchers ahead of expected attack. The Wall Street Journal reports that Iran has been moving missile launchers and conducting military exercises in recent days, according to unnamed U.S. officials. This activity may signal preparation for an imminent attack. U.S. officials are unsure of Hezbollah's role in the potential Iranian response to the killing of Hamas chief Sand Bandit in Tehran. This following the killing of Lebanese terror group's top military commander, Sand Bandit, in an Israeli attack in Beirut. Since this weekend, U.S. military officials have observed that Iranian armed forces conducting military drills as well as the movement of Iranian transporter erector launchers, TELs for short, armed with missiles around the country, indicating preparations for an attack against Israel. So like I said in one of my previous videos, the first indication that we see that these attacks could possibly be imminent is the NOTAMs. That is the first thing that would happen. The second thing that we would see is the movement of military equipment inside of Iran. And it looks like they are now starting to do this. This attack is, I believe, only a few days away. Could be as soon as tomorrow that this all happens. It's hard to predict when war happens. We've been waiting on this for a week now, but it looks like the Iranians are finally starting to leave their goat wives and go to battle at this point. So the Wall Street Journal, quoting U.S. officials, Iran conducted military exercises in preparation for launching an attack on Israel. This is a Palestinian media source. This is just the translation of that tweet. So, okay, Russia has started delivering advanced radars and air defense equipment to Iran as the country prepares for a possible war with Israel. Two Iranian officials familiar with the planning tell New York Times. In that post, Iranian media reported that Iran has requested advanced air defense systems from Russia as it prepares for a possible war with Israel. Two Iranian officials familiar with the war planning, one a member of the Revolutionary Guard Corps, confirmed that Iran has made the requests and said Russia has started delivering advanced radars and air defense equipment. The officials spoke on the condition of anonymity because they were not authorized to discuss the aid publicly. So like I said, I've also seen reports of Russia possibly delivering Iran those S-400 anti-missile defense systems. So, okay, the chief of the general staff for the Israeli Defense Force, Harzi Halvi, held a situation assessment earlier with U.S. and Israeli military leaders, as well as General Michael E. Kurilla, the commander of U.S. Central Command. So yes, the commander of CENTCOM did travel to Israel. I believe this was yesterday, and they have been discussing inside meetings of the defense plans of Israel and confirming to Israel of the U.S.'s support in this incoming attack. So the final story that I would like to share with you, so a U.S. base was attacked in Iraq yesterday. While that was happening, Poopy Pants Biden was holding a security assessment with all of his generals at the White House. Camel Toe Harris was present at this meeting, and then out of nowhere, Camel Toe apparently left the meeting early while the meeting was still going on. Some people are saying that she was kicked from that meeting. This whole story seems crazy to me, but this is from Fox News. Let me play that clip for you.
Junior, not hearing the audio on that. Nope, it is not coming through, Junior.
Okay, I'm not sure why you would not be hearing audio.
That's okay. Tell you what, we'll put that in the description. We'll link to that report in the description so that they can get to it. Now,
that's all I have for you guys, and back to you, King Zor Sr.
Okay,
your thoughts
a few
on everything
thoughts
that
here.
was just discussed.
A few thoughts on what you just reported. I mean, which was a whole lot of stories. We've been waiting a week. Iran could do this whenever at this point. It could be an hour from now. It could still be days or from now. It's looking like tomorrow. Looks like tomorrow. Don't hold us to that, but that's what it's looking like. Iran, I also seen another report,
especially because of these no-nums.
Yes, they do have a meeting scheduled for tomorrow with the Islamic nations, okay, where I imagine is where they're going to notify them of what they're going to do, and probably after that meeting is where I'm suspecting this is going to take off. Last time on April 13th, it was about 4 p.m. Central Time that they launched those attacks. So I would imagine
in the middle of the night, probably after midnight local time for Iran.
Right. They are 7 hours ahead Eastern Time. So if you're on the East Coast, they're 7 hours ahead. So 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning ish, somewhere around there. That's when we're expecting to see this attack. And Iran has said, Hezbollah, what's different here from April the 13th is this isn't just Iran. This is Hezbollah. This is Iran. This is coming from Syria. This is coming from Yemen. This is coming from sand bandit factions in Iraq, too. So, all at once, simultaneous attack. There's also been talk about a preemptive strike from Israel into Iran. This is out
and I do believe that the longer that Iran waits to strike Israel, the more of a possibility there is for Israel to preemptively strike Iran before they strike
exactly.
Israel.
Exactly. And with Russia's backing now, I mean, all hell could break loose with this, and we get into a World War III situation really quick. This thing can go sideways so fast that it'll be uncontrollable. And I think why Poopy Pants' diapers are full, okay, is because he's unable to control it. Iran is not listening to calls for de-escalation or don't do this. They've plainly said the decision's been made. We're not, entertaining any of your bullshit anymore.
In other words.
Yeah, they're not backing down. They're going to do this. And, they've also threatened, nations, if you jump into this, if you shoot down missiles, you're going to be a target too. If you get involved
that
in
also
any
reminds
way.
me. That also reminds me, Senior, something else that I forgot to talk about. So Jordan, right now, the countries, Jordan and I believe Saudi Arabia, as of this time, has told both parties, both Iran and Israel and the U.S. and all the NATO support that Israel has, that they are not allowed to use their airspace.
Right.
So that is pretty different from what happened during the April 13th attack, because Jordan allowed U.S. and British fighters to fly freely in their airspace to shoot down the incoming missiles from Iran. So that is another significant change from when these attacks come to the April 13th attack a few months ago.
Right. And that is a big difference. There's a lot of differences between this. And it can go, as we've said, this can go sideways, really quick. So we are on edge. We are watching it. If this does go off, we will go live. We will bring you live reporting of everything that's going on from multiple sources. We are watching this day and night at this point. As soon as it goes off, make sure that you subscribe and also have your notifications on for when that happens and when we do go live.
Yes, we have been recently more active on Twitter than what we are on YouTube. Now, of course, when big breaking news comes out, we do want to discuss it and give our live analysis. But go ahead and follow us. Our Twitter handle is WOF Doom on Twitter. We have been way more active there since recent days.
Exactly. Okay, moving on to, just some political news. Camel Toe has selected her vice president, and it is Tim Walz. Walz, however you say it, or put a Z in there. Which is about what's going on in this guy's brain. Is just a bunch of freaking gnats flying around in this liberal socialist nutbag's freaking head. Former school teacher turned politician. This guy is, your typical liberal socialist nutbag environmentalist whack job. I mean, what more can I say?
I wouldn't even say typical. I'd say that. I wouldn't even say typical. I'd go as far as saying this guy is more radical than most liberals. That's how radical this guy is.
You could say that. You can make that argument that, he is more radical. I mean, he sought to be governor and got it. So, I mean, but to me, I guess every liberal is radical, or they're not rational. They're actually mentally ill. It's why we need to bring back insane asylums to put people like this in there. So, who is Tim Walz? I'm sorry. What does he believe? What has he done? Few stories here. from Time magazine. So allow me to share. I actually have multiple stories of where he stands on the issues. So, first up on abortion. He signed a bill that enshrined the right to abortion into the state statutes, making Minnesota the first state legislator to codify protections into law in 2023. After the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade months earlier. So, and Walt signed a bill that shields patients traveling to Minnesota for abortion care. What kind of a fucking term is that? Abortion care. You're literally murdering your baby, and they want to call it medical care. They want to call it, abortion care. I mean,
And
what
don't
the
forget,
fuck kind of
don't forget,
world
you
are we
have
living
to pay
in
for
here?
it. You, a taxpaying,
Yes, that's right.
tax-paying citizen.
That's right. You're paying for the murder, the violent, brutal murder of an innocent baby that Mr. VP nominee wants to shield patients traveling to Minnesota to murder their children, and the medical providers murdering the child from legal attacks and criminal penalties. Other states that restrict access might try to levy against them. So in states,
while we are on this conversation, I do want to say something here. I want to ask all of you this. What do you think is the leading cause of death of humans on this planet? Go on, guess. Take a minute. Think. What is the leading cause of death between humans?
Type your answer down below. Hurry up. Hit that comment. Hurry up and type it. Hurry. Okay, you're done in 3,
is
2,
it pestilence?
1.
No. The leading cause of death on this planet is abortion.
That's right. In the United States,
statistics out there, especially the United States, but throughout the entire world, cancer does not kill as many people as what abortion does. I just thought that would be an interesting fact that I'd like to share with you all.
Yes, and thank you for that interesting fact. So what Walls has done here is other states who are against you murdering your baby that you went and had of your own free will now. It's my choice. There goes the feminist nutbag. It's my choice and I'm pro-choice. And it's my decision because it's my body and all that bullshit that you spout off every single time. It was your choice to be a hoe and lay down and get screwed by whoever and not plan it out and not plan on having a baby and blah, 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 blah. Doesn't give you the right to fucking murder your kid. Okay, period. All right? And not give the father any say-so whatsoever in you being a murderer. So I have no distinction between you and someone who goes out and blows somebody's brains out. I have no distinction between the two of you. And I wish it was presented in that way, okay? Because there would probably be a lot less of it, okay? But a bunch of snowflake, liberal socialist of today's world, can't have you say such mean things, King Thor. Because that's really mean, and I don't like it, and I'm offended, and and fuck your feelings on it if you're a murderer, quite frankly.
And another thing that I want to share with you all too. If you believe in abortion, okay, no matter why it happened, why they want the abortion, all the excuses, whatever. Okay, if you believe in abortion, I want you to go watch an abortion procedure in a surgery room. Because that is literal torture. What they do is they get these clips, right? These clips, and they literally pull that baby out of the woman's uterus piece by piece, breaking their legs off, okay? Then breaking their torso from their head, and then breaking their arms, and then finally snapping their neck and pulling it out of the woman's uterus. It is the most painful thing of torture. It's evil. Yes. It is pure evil.
A good show to watch, Silent Scream, and it shows the procedure. It shows the brutality of it. And you have no soul. and it's just like the end times, as in Romans, that their conscience is seared with an iron, that they have no conscience to support this whatsoever, and you can spin it however you want to. It's murder. Period. I don't give a shit what you say. Keep your comments to yourself. Don't go in the comment section and type your stupid, murdering bullshit opinion. Okay? Don't care. Most of you live in those comment sections, and before you go to type now, stop typing, stop yourself, and just say, King Zor doesn't give a shit about my stupid opinion. Just tell yourself that, because it's going to make your life a lot easier. I'm going to skip over it anyway. I'm going to read it and say, fuck you, you fucking blue-haired liberal pile of shit. Go fuck yourself. That's what I'm going to think, and I'm not going to respond to it. It's not going to change any opinions or anything. Other people are going to see it, and they're going to say the same thing I did. You stupid fucking liberal murdering piece of shit. That's what you're going to say. I'm just being honest with you. I mean, I can lie to you about it, but I'm being honest with you.
If it wasn't perfectly clear,
that's what's going to happen.
If Senior did not make it perfectly clear, okay, let me just reiterate one more time, okay? If you have an abortion, you are a murderer. There's no in between. There's no excuses. You are denying the right, the unalienable right for another being to live. That is the literal definition of murderer. So you can go and bitch in the comment sections, okay? We don't care. That is our opinion, okay? You are, say it again, say it with me. I am a murderer if I have an abortion, okay?
Yes, it's not care, not medical care. It's not any kind of care whatsoever, okay? You are willingly going to end someone's life, and that's how it is. Keep your comments off, because we're just going to skip over them and not read them. Moving on to Mr. Tim Walz. And on this issue, Tim Walz also signed a bill. We so need mental, insane asylums to come back. Signed a bill to force Tampon Tim, and that's what we're going to call him, Tampon Tim, to put tampon.
I wonder who came up with that name. That's a pretty good
Tampon name. Tim, to put tampons in the boys' bathroom. Okay? Tampons. In all men's bathrooms, in their schools, in their government buildings.
Not men's. No. Not men's. Boys. Not men's bathrooms.
Well, all of them. All of them, whether it be men's or boys and schools and government buildings and all that. You got to have a tampon in there, for the mentally ill, who walks in there and doesn't, realize that he can't have a period because they're a biological male. And doesn't matter what, fucking makeup they put on, or, sew some tits on, whatever you do, it's not going to change. You're not going to have a fucking period. You don't have those organs, but we're dealing with the mentally ill here. So, and the people who support the mentally ill, okay, that, yay, you're enabling these people to live in a delusion, who are delusional people, and you're actually enabling their fucking delusion, okay? I mean, now have you seen, what are they called? The Furby people? The people dress up like animals and jump around and fucking furries. Yes. They actually believe that they're a fucking dog or a cat or a, I don't know, fucking hippo.
They put on animal tails, okay? Run around, act like animals, and bite people in school. There is this story of this school of a bunch of these kids going around and biting other children in a public school dressed up as dogs.
Yeah, and they can't do anything about it, because they identify, as a fucking whatever, running around biting people.
Okay, if they identify as dogs and animals, then if I went to freaking public school nowadays. I would be expelled
Oh
a week.
boy.
I wouldn't last a week. Oh boy, I would not last 1 week.
Yeah,
If
it
these
would
kids
not be a pretty picture.
if these kids want to go to school, okay, and pretend that they're furries and wild animals, I will pretend, okay, and play the make-believe game. I will identify as a hunter, okay, and I will get traps and set traps and say, "Oh, here's your food. Go into the cage and get it." I would identify as a hunter in these schools. I'm telling you, I would not make it.
A trapper to trap the furry, the dangerous animal in there biting people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, fucking biting people. You know, the furries. It's how far this mental illness has gone, and this is what, you know, the liberal agenda. I mean, they've all warned us about it. Rush Limbaugh, you know, God rest his soul, have warned us that we were coming to this stage if these people were not dealt with, and they were not dealt with, is the problem. And you know, so now you have Camel Toe, and now you have Tim Walz, who is a school teacher, which is scary. This is somebody who is, you know, with your children, teaching your children, which really that's where it all starts, is in education, right? These people are with your kids 8 hours a fucking day.
Schools
and they have
are the main cause of breakdown of America's society.
That's where the problem starts. Rainbow shit in your classroom, pushing it in their face, has nothing to do with education whatsoever. Nothing to do with history or math, or geography or any of that. But let's push this fucking agenda, and it's been allowed to happen. And nobody says anything about it because, well, let's be honest, people are pussies, and everybody's really pussies who don't have to speak up about it because I don't want to get out there because, you know, what if they say this about me or that about me? I don't want to cause any controversy. Yeah, you're a pussy. Okay, that's what you are, and you might as well go on their side because you are useless to us at all. You are useless. Okay, if you are one of those people who are silent about these things, you do us no good at all. So go on their side and be neutral Nancy over there.
You might as well go and get your dog tail. Go get your dog tail, put it up your ass, and pretend and call yourself a dog and join them. Because you are no better than them if you don't speak out against this blatantly evil bullshit.
You're no better. You're no better at all. You are. You know, well, I didn't want to offend anybody or whatever. You're the fucking problem. You are the fucking problem right there for being an indecisive pussy, not making up your mind, afraid of offending people. Don't want, you know, I don't want nobody to not like me. What if they don't like me? I won't fit in. And that's what you are. And because you're that way, look where we're at. So yes, I fucking blame you. You know, you didn't do shit. You didn't even say shit about it. Not even to your neighbors or friends or people you hang around. Just nobody. So anyway, that's all I got for this episode of World on Fire. Hope I stepped on a whole bunch of toes. And you can express your dissatisfaction in the comment section. We won't read them anyway. We'll laugh amongst ourselves about how mad you are. So we
please
appreciate
be creative
your time.
in your hateful replies too.
Yes.
You know, get creative about it. It will give us a laugh. Really try your hardest.
Yeah, I mean the words. Okay, narcissistic has just it's run its course. Okay, you know, you had that buzzword for a while. It's getting old. Okay, egotistical, conceited. You know, what else? Misogynistic. Yes, it's all getting old. You need to come up with some new material here. We're just trying to help. Come up with some new material that we can laugh at and that we can identify you.
Just be creative.
Right.
Be creative.
Just like your blue hair and your green hair that we can look over and know that you're a fucking nutbag. You know, Biden voting. Shit. And we know where you stand. Come up with some new terms when you come at us, because you know these terms they're getting old. You know, we see them as a badge of honor. It doesn't hurt our feelings. We're like, yes, another narcissistic, comment. Yes, misogynistic. Love it. Keep them coming, but it's just getting old.
All right,
We're kind
Senior.
of tired.
So that's two. So that's 3 comments to you, Senior. And looking through
Yeah.
our comment section here, I got 4. It looks like I won up to Senior. See, we have these contests, and yeah,
do.
so we
do.
encourage you to be as spiteful,
Right.
hateful, and creative as you possibly can.
As you can, give us some entertainment. Bring us your best. That's all we got for this episode. And we will see you soon. We will be watching this war very closely. As soon as it hits, we will go live. And until next time on World on Fire, keep those comments coming. Make sure you like and subscribe and share us. We want this channel to grow. We want to offend as many as we can. Quite frankly, really do.
Also, go ahead and follow us on Twitter again. Also, go ahead and follow us on Twitter. Again, our handle is WOF Doom on Twitter. That is where you can find the latest updates regarding politics and the incoming war in the Middle East. That is where you could get the most up-to-date latest news on our Twitter.
Right. Oh, and I smoke. That should make you mad. I mean, come on. All this material we've given you, you've got to come up with something here. So we will see you in the comment section. Have a great night.